Hey Cancer, it's Kayla's Tarot. Right, let's do your mate monthly. I'm going to start off with 5-card spread and then we'll sort out your love lives after with the romance angels. Right, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Cancer. Haven't I got butterfingers today? Right, let's see. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. 5-card spread for Cancer, please. Central issue is the Page of Wands in the reverse. I like it. Rise like the phoenix from the ashes. The 5 of Swords. The recent past is the 3 of Swords. I feel let down with that. What's crowning you is the Hangman. And what's coming towards you, Cancer, I've got 2 there, is Justice reversed with the 6 of Swords reversed. So we've got a clear warning here, okay? Just because an outcome's there doesn't mean that it's written in stone. It's basically like, if we continue on this path, this is where this is headed. So for some of you, you've got a bit of a warning there. I'm just going to clarify this a little bit further to sort of get the gist of what's crack-a-lacking here. Right. Okay. So, central issue, Cancer. Like I said, we've got this Page of Wands, and it is flipped. It's in the reverse. And to see here, it's like rising from the phoenix, like the ashes. This is what we need to do. You know, we've got many options in front of you at the moment. And I suppose for some of you, it's not that you're confused about the option that you need to be choosing here. It's just that there's so many different options that you would like to go down in order to rise back up here from whatever this was in the recent past. Maybe we should start there because this doesn't look too good. This is an argument and conflict here, okay, that's resulted in a pretty nasty wound here it's left. It could be an argument with a loved one, a partner, a child, whatever this is. This is like a proper nasty confrontation that really bothered you and it stayed with you. And now we want to rise above this. We want to rise above this. We want to bounce back, and we've got floating a few different ways in which we can do that. So maybe some of you wanted to try and make amends with whoever this is, but I think the hurt is a bit too much for you at the minute, and I've got a funny feeling a lot of you won't. However, you will be able to rise from this, and the reason is because of determination. It's worth it. That 5 of Swords reversed. You know, and the 10 of Wands, it's a heavy burden. It's been weighing on your shoulders. And I just feel like whatever this conflict is in the past, that, you know, this is painful. This is real fucking painful. I don't know where I'm getting this from, but for some of you, I think this may be for one person. Someone's recently lost someone and there was a big argument before this person passed on. And this is something that you can't make amends of. One of the options here is that you can, and I note the spiritual face in the card. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're there, and you will rise from this. We all make mistakes, we're only human, whether the argument was warranted or not. For others of you, this is just sort of, I feel a deep loss, you know what I mean? A deep pain. It's almost like this argument was just this conflict was too much to come back from. It's like, no, we can't come back from that. And you probably can't, but you can pick your son up again. You can start taking steps to rid the burden of the pain that this has left. You know, what's crowning you is just this waiting around, and also with the Hangman, I just feel limbo, static, not moving forward. Do you know what I mean? And with the 7 of Wands, it's about standing your ground and fighting back. Stand your ground, fight back. You know, it's a head over heart sort of thing. You have to reason with yourself. That's the key to this. I think for some of you, you need to reason with yourself and actually admit that we have let somebody else affect our stability, affect our position and our feelings. You don't have to give anybody permission to upset you. You know what I mean? And I think that for some of you, you just need to know that you can have full control of how you feel about things. All right, whatever this was is painful, but it's in the past. It's in the past position. We don't need to keep this lingering any longer. You know, at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do for whoever this was that did upset you. All we can do is, you know, address the impact that it's left on you. I'm just seeing some of you really struggling, and Spirit's main advice here is rise from the ashes like the phoenix. You do not have to stay in this low vibrational energy. You don't. And I think that the reason why they're still warning is, say, if you don't get yourself out of this, things are going to continue to be very dramatic. You are going to struggle to get what you deserve emotionally. You know what I mean? This is a very unfair situation. It's very dramatic. You know, justice is in the reverse. And again, the future's never set in stone. So you can turn this around, Cancer. And right now, I suggest you know, everybody's in frigging lockdown. So I suppose the only thing that you can do is to focus on yourself, ground yourself, find your center, get back in touch with, you know, everything that's good about you, and stop letting other people affect your mood. You don't have to. Whether you were at fault or not, forgive yourself. If somebody else is at fault, all right, whether you want to forgive them or not is entirely your decision. But what I will say is to A, shit is human, to forgive it truly is divine. And whether you're ready right now or not, I should imagine that the mortality of this situation would help people to understand why forgiveness is so important, because life is fragile. So for some of you, this is a lesson that you know you can start to absorb now. For some of you, you've already been on that journey of absorption. So let's have a closer look at your love lives now. We've got the general out the way. Let's see, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Cancer. All right, I've got religious factors, and it says on the card, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. All right, for most of you, this is speaking about spiritual path. Sometimes see religious factors as things such as marriage as well. What's these that just fell out? Very soon and worth waiting for. Let me see a bit deeper with that. Soulmate, fuck, Cancer. Whoa. You need to get yourself out of this funk. Decide what you want so that you can have it. All right, you may not be able to have it right now, and there's a waiting period, but it's worth waiting for. Why? Because for some of you, you've got a soulmate coming, and that's what's worth it. So, you know, we're in a bit of a funk. There's a bit of pain there, but you can move on from that, okay? Especially if that pain is love related. Moving on and correct yourself is a part of a soul's journey, along with lessons that we must learn. And soulmates will only come in if you are in a position to welcome a soulmate in. Otherwise, guess what? Soulmates will come in and they don't fucking stay. And they end up having to be a lesson to be learned. And how frustrating is that? When you know damn well that you got your soulmate and then they piss all over your parade. And you're like, how the fuck could that have happened and that person be my soulmate? They either weren't or there were a lesson to be learned. It's simple as that. Get used to it. But again, you got another one coming in. Whether it's for good reason or not remains to be seen at this point. But any soulmate is not worth passing up on. So, Cancer, you got some self-reflection to do. I suggest you get to work. I'm going to leave it there, my darlings, and I wish you all the best. Take care, and we'll speak soon. If anybody does want a personal, feel free to email me. I have been dropping and dishing the red pills left, right, and centre. Go check out my playlist on the channel called Kay's Digs, and go enlighten yourself and learn something. Otherwise, speak soon.